start your mask, you are going to need to cut the fabric of your choice. Let's see, the dimensions of the fabric are 8 by 16 inches. And then you'll want to get some interfacing. This is an interfacing that irons on. The interfacing is cut at 7 by 15 inches. So you'll want to get that first, and then the only other two pieces you need to cut out are these small rectangles. This is actually two, they're stuck together. Here we go. And these are 3 by 5 inches. So these are the pieces that you're going to use to make the mask. So that is step one. That we are going to sew is this pocket. So this is the back side of the mask. The pocket is for an extra filter or fabric, just to add some protection if you want to. So the pocket is what we're going to sew first. To do that, you're going to take your fabric. You can kind of figure out, which, obviously my fabric's going this way, so this will be the front. So I am going to fold it in half. And I'm not as concerned with lining up the edges of the fabric as I am about kind of lining up the interfacing. And you can kind of feel if it's lined up or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin here and a pin here, and I'm going to sew here. Make sure you back stitch and lock it. Sew across, back stick and lock it. And then I'm just going to move the fabric over, start here, back stitch, lock it, stitch across, and I don't know official sewing terms, okay, so just go with me here. I'm very much an amateur. And then sew it, lock it here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like in the next video. And I'm also not a videographer, so this is going to be a very poor quality tutorial. So anyway, there are things that do well, and I don't know that this is one of them. So, but I will put these all in order in a folder on my Facebook page, and I'll make it public so you can share. All right, so I'm going to go do that. I'll be back in a second. See, I've got it pinned here. Okay, so my pins are in place. So I'm going to be sewing right along the edge of this interfacing. I kind of already started a little bit. I'm going to reverse just so I can get that stitch in place. And I'm going to go till I get to this pin, remove it, and then I'm going to reverse just to kind of lock it back in. And then I'm going to stop there, just pick up my fabric, move it on down, pull that pin out. All right, put the foot back in, lock it in place, and finish it out. Okay, that is the first step. So now you can see I have the little opening. That's going to be my pocket. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of flatten these seams, make them open. I'm only using the tip of the iron because I don't want to iron directly onto the interfacing. It'll melt onto it. So I'm going to open these up, iron them down in place. Oh, let's do that a little better. Okay, so now that I've got these ironed down, I'm going to go ahead and turn the piece inside out. And the next step will be to sew this seam down. Before I do, really quick, I got to make sure that I'm doing it on the right side. So this is the front, so I want that to stay there. So I'm going to kind of fold down the top just a little ways. So there is a pipe cleaner that we are going to sew up into this upper edge, and that will be so it can kind of mold around the nose, mold to the face. So I'm going to fold it about that far, and I like to go ahead and press in place so I kind of just is helpful for me. So my next step is I'm going to bring this back over to the machine, and I'm going to do a stitch just right along here to stitch this end down. And
really go all the way across.
Oh, all the way across? Oh, I haven't been doing that.
That's
See,
okay.
I'm not a professional.
That's okay.
All right, so we're going to go all the way down. And then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, stick it up in this little crease so it's here, and I'm going to sew all the way down. Okay, so I sewed right along here. You have to be careful not to sew the whole piece together, so I'm only sewed along that side. Now I've got my pipe cleaner. Oh, and by the way, you'll notice that my stitching is not perfect. I'm not going for perfect because I'm incapable of perfect with this. We just want to make sure we have a nice sturdy mask that will stay on and fit the face well and, you know, look halfway decent. So right now I'm sticking this pipe cleaner up in the top, and I'm going to push it into this little corner, and my next stitch will begin all the way at the end and go all the way across, sewing that pipe cleaner into place. I've got my pipe cleaner sewn in place across the top, and now I'm ready to make the pleats, which will end up looking like this. So I still have the back facing me. To do this, I'm going to start from the bottom and fold up to where I've got a piece that it's about an inch. It doesn't need to be exact, and the fabric that's being folded is about half the length of the fold that I made. So once I'm happy with my fold, I'm going to pin this in place on both sides. So let me get my pins. And now I'm ready to make a second fold. So I'm just going to kind of move the fabric up, kind of press it down, pin on one side and then the other. And I'll show you in a minute kind of how I check to see if the folds I made are going to be okay or not. In the end, the height of this needs to end up being somewhere between 3.5 to 4 inches. Again, doesn't need to be exact, but just kind of within that range. All right, and I will show you how I check that here in a moment. I've got one more pin to put in. That's my mom's sewing. We've got 2 machines going right now, mine and hers. So we got a little, no, it's fine. We got a little sweatshop going on. I like to press my creases. You don't have to. I just like to. So we've got this ruler set here at about 4 inches. So I'm going to just make sure that I'm within that range. So yes, I'm more than 3.5, less than 4. Check the other side. And both sides do not need to match. They do not have to be even. So I'm happy with the pleats that I've made. So now I'm going to bring this back over to my machine, and I'm going to sew up the sides. Make sure again that you're locking on either end just so your stitching does not come out. And I'll be back with the following step. I made my stitches so my pleats are in place. My mom brought up a good point. If you are making these masks for your own personal use, or maybe you're making some to donate to a residence at a nursing home or assisted living, you could skip this pocket. The pocket is there mostly for medical professionals. Maybe they're running out of the N95 mask. This is here to put an extra filter in. Of course, if you wanted the pocket for yourself to add some more protection for yourself, that's cool too. But if you just wanted to get a few made and you're not worried about that, you could just skip that step, and it would save you a bit of time, because really that's kind of the most difficult step out of this whole mask making process. But if I can do this, anyone can do this, because I really kind of suck at sewing, so this is totally doable. Um, the next step we're going to do is we're going to put the casings on the sides of the mask. So in order to do that, oh look, these are two, uh-oh, Mom. Oh wait, no, it goes this way. See, I'm a dummy. All right. All right, so you're going to turn your 3x5 fabric rectangle that you have cut out, and you're going to line up the edge to the edge of your mask like this, okay? And you'll have anywhere between a half to a quarter inch hanging off the sides. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold this casing, and I'm going to go ahead and iron this in place and add a pin. So here is one end of my casing, and I'm going to do the same for the bottom. Fold this over, iron in place, and pop in a pin. And then of course you will do the same for the other side. So this is what it looks like on this side now. And I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to line up my casing, flip it over, fold the ends. I'm just going to fold them both and pin them at the same time. And then pin them in place. Okay, now that I've got these pinned, I'm going to go back over to my machine, and I'm going to first stitch along here, and then I will show you what to do next. And now I have my casing stitched on, so I'm going to open this up and flip it over. I'm going to iron these into place in just a second. Let's open this up. So this is what it looks like so far. So now I'm going to make sure we can see that. I'm going to iron this down, and then I'm going to iron this side down. I'm going to do the same for the other side. And then in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to fold these ends over, and that'll create your casing for the straps to go through. So I'm going to kind of hold it up as best I can to kind of show you what to do. So first step is I'm going to take this edge and kind of just put it right over that stitching there. And if you want, you can get your, I love using the iron, put that into place. And then next I'm going to fold over one more time. And I'm going to try to meet it right up there with that edge, but still covering it. So, and here is the next side. If you want to, you can pin this into place. I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so here's one side, and I'm going to do the same to the other. Fold once, press, and fold again, and press. Okay, so now that I've got my casings ready to go, I'm going to bring it back over to my machine, locking the end stitches into place, of course, and I'm going to stitch just right along that edge. And once I've done that to both sides, we will be ready to insert the straps. Here is the mask portion that is finished. So you can see after I made my folds, I stitched it down into place. This is the front of the mask. Flip it over. This is the back. Now look again, my stitching isn't that pretty, but it's the back. No one sees, no one cares. There's our little pocket. And now my mom is going to show how she inserts the straps.
I just used a safety pin that I pin onto the end of the strap and then feed it through. Sometimes it goes easy, sometimes it doesn't.
Now, does it matter which end you start from for like the loop that goes over your head?
You can do either. You can do it this way then.
Okay, so
I'm
she's
starting
starting
from-
at the top, right? So you're going top down.
Top down on one side.
So I guess the safety pin just makes it easier to feel where the end is.
Once you kind of get it, sometimes you need a little help.
Chopsticks. There we go.
Well, this is actually a
Oh, it's not a
a
chopstick.
sewing tool.
Oh, really? Well, I don't know. To me, it looks like a chopstick.
Well, I mean, it is used to feed through, but it's not going to work with this one.
Oh, okay. And while she's threading that, I just kind of want to show what the finished project looks like. So here's one that my mom completed. Here is the top of the mask. This is the front. And as you can see, the pleats will open up like this, so it fits nicely over the face down to the bottom of the chin. Now what's nice about this is that the straps they're nice and thick and they're adjustable. So when you put it on, this portion will slide over your head, so you can make it larger to fit over your head. Once it's on, you will pull these ends to where this is taut across the back of your head, and then you can simply take the straps and tie them. I did try one on the other day, and they're actually quite comfortable. I was pretty well pleased with it. And I like the fact that you can adjust it so you don't have to worry about measuring each family member's head to make sure that the strap fits perfectly. And you also don't have to worry about elastic straps pulling on your ears. I know that's been a complaint that a lot of healthcare workers have had, is that their ears are hurting from the elastic straps. Using for the straps, it's bias tape. And what my mom is doing now is she is ironing the bias tape in half. And then do you just stitch all the way up?
It just makes it easier to run it through to stitch.
Okay, so you just stitch it all the way up and then that's it? You've got a strap, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then next we'll show you how to thread the strap into your mask.
Make it easier because you can kind of put your fingers here as a guide, and it just makes it really easy just to run it all at once. Yeah. You don't have to sit here and fold it. You can fold it as you go, but ironing just makes it easier and quicker to run it through.
It's me, the voice that you've been hearing in your head through the videos. I've got my quarantine hair here, so, be kind, all right? We all look bad right now. But this is the finished mask, and I wanted to show you how to put it on. So again, this is the back with the pocket. All right. I wear glasses most of the time, not all the time, but I'm going to take them off in order to show you to put this on. So I'm going to pull the straps to get my big head through. I do have a large head. And now let's see, we've got to kind of open it up. And this is my mask, so don't worry, I'm not going to donate this with my germs all over it. All right, so I'm going to pull the straps. And remember that pipe cleaner? It's nice because I've got the wire. I can kind of press it down to fit my nose. And then simply tie it behind my head. And of course, if you've got someone at home to help you tie it, it makes it a little bit easier. And voila, I am ready for Costco.
And with the wire across your nose, and if you wear glasses, it keeps your glasses from fogging up.
Well, mine's fogging a little bit.
Is it?
Well, yeah, just a little.
It's supposed to help.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's a little flawed, okay?
I only wear my glasses really if I'm really needing to look at something, drive, or read. So in the store, I'll probably remove my glasses. But yeah, this
Very
is
cute.
it.
The snake on your nose is very
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, guys.